I think we're live. Let me just double check that everything looks good. Modding live stream is up. Okay. Here we are. Hello. Pardon my super goofy hair. Wait, you guys want to see this? I am showing my hair. I know. I look like I'm wearing a toupee or something. Okay. Well, let's go back to the... There you guys go. Listen to some lo-fi, and we'll do some disassembly and maybe modding. Gotta keep an eye on the time. My watch band doesn't breathe the best, so my wrist gets like kind of sweaty and stinky under it. Is this just a me problem? I don't know, Lauren, because I have to make conversation. I say goofy things. Anyway, the Attack Shark X8. This is a GPX clone. I have two versions here. The pink is the SE. This is like the super ultra budget, like, I don't know, like sub $30 version with a 3311 sensor. And then the X8 Ultra, or on the box Ultar, this is the 8K Hertz version with a Nordic MCU. And I think it's a 3950. Why don't we do the specs first? So, yes, the X8 Ultra, this comes in, I want to say, like $60-ish. I think you can get it for, I think their website might MSRP at more like 70. Don't pay that. Well, we'll see. Maybe it's actually a good mouse. 3950 sensor, 8K hertz polling. We'll take a look at the internals. Let's check the weight. Were there any other specs on it? Ice sensitive coating design. Yes, it does have a coating. The coating's actually half decent. Let's check the weight. I'm gonna guess like 60 grams. 59 on the Ultra. Okay. And then the 3311 version. I took the dongle out. There you go, nano receiver. 1K hertz polling only. No coating to this. Yeah, USB-C. Okay, not a whole lot to say. Okay. And the weight is the same, effectively. Okay. Well, why don't we get into the unboxing? So the SE comes with here charging cable. That is fine. It's not super stiff. It's not super flexible. It comes with a bunch of stickers. Look at that. You can get a goofy little shark thing. Choo choo. Oh, he has the Attack Shark logo on him. Okay. I actually don't mind having the full-size stickers. I'm not going to use these anime ones, but those are actually kind of cool. You know where I like to put them? Let me show you guys. Sorry, incoming Windows sound. Or not. Oh, there it is. Sorry, that was me. I put stickers on the back of my keyboard. Any of you guys do the same thing? Yeah. So I can put my Attack Shark sticker on the back of my Skylung keyboard. That was my Windows sound again, plugging my keyboard back in. And we also get grip tape with the SE. And a manual. Okay. Next, moving on to the Ultra, we get, oh, I should check the skates too. No, I'll do that in a bit. I'll do that in a bit. For the unboxing with the Ultra, again, these are GPX clones, y'all, if you haven't figured that out yet. And I need to go to my channel and view my chat. We get a oh, this is a stiffer cable. Interesting. I wonder if this is like a faster charge cable. This is noticeably stiffer than the pink one. We get extra skates with the Ultra. These are actually very nice looking skates. They have that white substrate. The reinforcing substrate is lacking on the sensor skate, but who really cares? You can even see that it's not quite as white on the sensor skate. We also get the same stickers, and it looks like we get the same grip tape. Even their packaging has Attack Shark on it, and the back of there. Is the grip tape the same? The grip tape looks to be the same. This is rather good stuff. You can tell it kind of looks a little wet. That's how you know it's going to actually be grippy. And a user manual. Okay. So the only unboxing difference is you get extra skates on the Ultra. And then obviously the receivers are different, 8K versus the Nano 1K. All right. Let's move on to, let's talk comparisons. So the weights are pretty much the same. The specs, the difference in the specs are 1K hertz on the SE, 8K hertz on the Ultra. This is using mechanical switches. We'll take it apart and see what they are exactly. They feel like, I'm not entirely sure what they feel like. They feel fine though. They feel a-okay. And nano receiver, and we get storage for that nano receiver on the bottom, while the 8K hertz version is blanked off. The skates, are the skates the same? Let's take a look here. The skates seem to be slightly different. I don't know if this is at all a meaningful amount, but on the SE, they look to be a little bit thinner. They're still using a substrate, a reinforcing substrate, which is nice. They are definitely thinner. I can just tell by the amount of ridge that's available here. And let's check speed. Sorry, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to check speed on an Artisan Raiden XXL. Okay, so yeah, right off the bat, the SE is louder. If you can hear this, this is on a Raiden, and this is the Ultra now. This is the Ultra. This is the Ultra. This is the SE. So you can see there is a sound difference with the skates. I think that's mainly due to the SE being thinner, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm actually getting a little bit of rubbing. These are actually rather thin for being skates. The Ultra skates are definitely better, and only the Ultra comes with extra skates, and they seem to be the same good quality as what's on here. They are not these cheaper ones. Okay, next difference is the coating for sure. I'll try to zoom in here and show you guys. The coating on the Ultra is actually quite nice. This reminds me of what I just used on the, it's similar to this, though this is more gray. And I just shot the ROM ER21 review, and the coating on the Attack Shark feels identical. It feels like a spray paint that has like a little bit of chalky grip to it. I really wish I had better words to describe it. Does it leave fingerprints? Oh yeah, definitely leaves fingerprints. But I would say that's good. It's not an industry leading coating, but it is quite good. Oh, I forgot to mention these switches. So I don't know if they're mechanical, I don't know what they are, whereas the Ultra is using Omron opticals. They feel quite nice in both mice. A little bit on the firmer, more tactile side on both mice. Another minor difference I noticed is the side buttons. The side buttons on the Ultra sink in ever so slightly less than on the SE. And I'm gonna take this apart and see if there's actually a difference or if I'm just being crazy. The scroll wheel on both feels identical, both middle mouse and scroll. And I think that's it. The weights were pretty much the same. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm just reading some of the chat here. Seems similar. Do you do soldering? Hey, Phalanges. Old Vicious here. Keep up the good work. Oh, what's up, Vicious? Vicious is a guy I played Battlefront with. Hope you're doing well, dude. Yeah, I've moved on to... I've been playing a bit of Battlefield and then also doing, like, mouse-related stuff, so I have, like, a weekly podcast. Okay. I think that's it for the differences. In summary, the differences are... The coating is actually very good on the Ultra, whereas on the SE, it's just your typical Attack Shark textured plastic. It's not bad, but it does not have a coating. The switches, mechanical switches in the SE, Omron opticals in the Ultra. The skates are thinner on the SE and seem a little bit slower. The Ultra seems faster and a little bit smoother and definitely quieter. Dongle storage, you still get Bluetooth on both. Scroll wheel, middle mouse seems the same on both. Weight is effectively the same on both within like 0.2 grams. And the Ultra also comes with, of course, the 8K hertz receiver and an extra set of skates, while the SE comes with a color matched. Well, I don't know. They might both come with color matched cables, but this cable is slightly more flexible. Okay, why don't we talk like a general review now. So general build quality is solid on the Ultra, no flexing, especially on the bottom. This is actually a pretty solidly made mouse. Very, very, yeah, that's actually quite good. Side button wobble, not really a whole lot. I am able to kind of like lift up a little bit here, but it's not too bad. Um, yeah, no hump flex, surprisingly little flex under here. No creaking. Fit and finish seems good. No rattles. Nope. I think that's pretty solid. Let's see if the SE is any different. Probably not, because they're probably all using the same mold. Um, yeah, there's a slight amount of flex here in the middle on both copies, but like very, very little. I'm putting a lot of force. Still very solid construction, possibly more solid on the bottom. Maybe it's using a bigger PCB with different mounting points. No, I think any more button wobble? Nope. Quite nice on the SE also. Okay, that's it for build quality. I would say they're pretty much the same. For shape, this is a GPX clone. Let me grab a GPX. There's a GPX for comparison. Looks very similar. The GPX buttons do come back farther, so maybe that matters for some people who like click stupidly high up. Yeah, you definitely do have lighter click high up on the back here, but I've also modified this GPX. You can see this one got squished at one point. Long story that I have shared on Mousecast before. Otherwise, the shape seems like a darn near one-to-one. You can tell by, I'll use this as a pointer. You can tell by the brim here around the edge. That's glossy on the GPX. This looks pretty much the same proportions. Does it have the signature GPX ridge? So on the GPX, you have a slight ridge right here. Does this have the same? I actually don't think it does, if that matters to you. Okay, I can definitely feel it on the GPX, and I do not feel it on the Attack Shark. So maybe that is one minor difference if it matters to you. There's just this little bit of a ridge that I always thought was an interesting feature on the GPX because it is such a flat-sided mouse. The amount of hip flare towards the back, yeah, feels the same. Skate design is relatively similar too. Sensor position looks relatively similar. Maybe the GPX is ever so slightly forward by like 1 millimeter. Taking a look at the bases, they're pretty much the same. Looks about the same click height. Y'all can go check this out. This is available on Elo Shapes. And then the SE is, I mean, the SE is the same. Yeah, it's the same mold. Yep. Okay. Let's take a look at, next, let's take a look at weight and balancing. So I'm kind of following a bit of a script here, and we'll see if I actually edit this into more of a review. So the X8 Ultra, 59.08 grams, and the X8 SE with the dongle storage door removed, 58.4 versus 58.8. So they're within 0.2, 0.3 grams of each other. For weight balancing, I would say it's about center on the SE is about here, which is just below the sensor lens, ever so slightly just below it, but still quite nice. And then, sorry, I'm checking chat here, waiting to see which side buttons they use. Keck, yes. And then on the Ultra, weight balancing is Possibly slightly better. Yeah, maybe a little bit better on the Ultra. We might have a different battery placement, or there might be just the difference in the dongle storage compartment here. We'll take a look at that internally. For M1 and M2, talking the SE, they are mechanical switches. We'll take it apart and see what they are. Off the bat, listening to it, they are kind of loud. I'm thinking these are going to be like Huano, but we'll see. These aren't tensioned the best. Like they're a firmer press, and I can tell that's not the switch. I can tell that's the mouse shell. I can tell I feel like I'm bending a little bit. And quick feel towards the front is actually quite nice. If you grip far, far down like this, I think you're actually going to really like this. There's pre and post travel. There's a little bit of pre-travel, I think an acceptable amount. It is too stiff in my opinion, but I'm nitpicking here. And then the post-travel, there's actually a really, really okay amount. There's just a little bit of post-travel, which again helps with spring back. On the X8, oh, and side-to-side wobble, not really any that is a problem. No sensation of switch grinding. These feel okay. These are I would say these would be a 7 out of 10 implementation. I would say the slightly firmer fulcrum puts these more at like a 6 out of 10 in my opinion. But no grinding to speak of. Little loud. The Omron opticals in the X8 Ultra. These feel nice. Again, I can tell I'm bending fulcrum a little bit here because they feel a little bit firmer than Omron opticals typically are. Pre-travel, I would say there's possibly even less. Yes, there's less pre-travel on the Ultra, for sure. That also might just be because the Omron opticals are a lighter switch. Post-travel is... There's possibly more post-travel. Yeah, I would say there's actually more post-travel on the Ultra, but I really don't think it's a problem. Those Omron opticals do a really good job of wanting to eagerly press your button back up and reset it for better spammability. And side-to-side play is, again, the same, with left mouse having ever so slightly more. Out of the two, I gotta give it to the Omron opticals and the X8 Ultra. That's a pretty easy thing to say. I prefer Omron opticals, but these are pretty good too. Now, side buttons. The side button placement's actually quite nice, especially compared to the GPX. These are ever so slightly larger than the GPX, and I'm glad to see glossy side buttons. I personally like a textural difference because that difference is easier to detect when you're playing. Are the X8 Ultra Omron opticals tactiles like they are in the L7 Plus, says Pigger in chat. These are firmer. You can tell that you're having to bend fulcrum more. The L8 or the L7, sorry, the L7 Plus by M-Chose is definitely better. So the side buttons, they are definitely better than the GPX, which are famous for being kind of mushy. And look at the gap around them too. These sit much tighter to the shell. Talking teeter-totter, there's a little bit, but this is actually a pretty good amount. This is like, I would say this is like 7 out of 10 quality. Can they be sunk into there we go. I don't know what's going on with the headset wanting to turn off, but okay. So the side buttons are pretty good on both. Yeah, actually, I would give these like 8 out of 10 side buttons. The Ultra might have ever so slightly less shell sink in. The back one sinks in a tiny bit more. Really quite good, though. Next, scroll and middle mouse. Scroll wheel is a little bit disappointing. I wish they actually stuck up higher like the GPX does. The scroll wheel on the GPX sticks up higher, which I do like more. Scroll wheel placement seems about the same on both. Possibly the attack shark is back slightly more. That also might just be because it's lower. Scrolling tactility is only maybe 6 out of 10. I really wish it was more tactile. It's not as tactile as the GPX's TTC Silver. And then middle mouse spammability is just okay, 6 out of 10. They're using a decent sounding micro switch in there, but it really not as spammable as the GPX. GPX definitely has it beat here in terms of scroll and middle mouse. The Ultra and the SE feel identical for the scroll wheel and middle mouse. Lastly, oh no, 2 more things. Skates. I think I already talked extensively about the skates, but again, the SE has thinner, slower, more noisy skates. The Ultra has thicker skates that are a little bit quieter, and I would say a little bit faster. These just seem higher quality. They both have really nice edge rounding, and they both use a substrate for structure, which is really nice to see. Coating, the X8 SE, let's see if I can zoom way in here. It's using a typical Attack Shark finish. There's no coating to it. It's just this smooth plastic with ever so slight texture. I actually rather like this more than like something really coarsely textured like a Viper V2 or something that has like no texture at all. So this is actually, I do like this, but the coating on the Ultra is definitely better. It gives some fingerprints you can see here, and it seems identical to the ROM ER21. And this whole, I don't know, if you've used a coated black mouse, you've probably encountered this before. It feels like a kind of chalky spray paint that once your hands get a little moist from humidity or whatever, it actually grips up quite nicely. Dry is not as strong, but this is still a very good coating, I would say. I would say this is like a 8 out of 10 coating. I can compare it to the Attack Shark R6, which seems to have the same coating. Yep, R6 I would say has the same coating. If you have an R6, you're going to be familiar with this. R6, pretty underrated mouse. It's like a slightly smaller Sora. Next thing is the performance. I actually have not turned either of these on. I should probably turn them on and make sure that they actually turn on. Okay, we do get a red LED for DPI before I start disassembling them, so I can't speak to that. And let's talk value. So the Ultra is coming in, I want to say around $60-$70, while the SE comes in at like $30. This is one of those things where if you love the GPX shape, and like you already know it, and you just want a good quality GPX, the Ultra is probably going to be the way to go. There's probably a pro version that comes with a $33.95 that's way cheaper than this, but you might miss out on some features like the coating. Personally, 8K hertz I don't care too much about, but the SE, if you're just looking to try a GPX shape, this is a really solid one. It's a 3311 sensor, which is a fine sensor, but you're going to get pretty poor battery life. Okay, let's do a disassembly. This is actually what I came here for, because I need to do a Reddit post. In chat, which one do you guys want to see disassembled first? Probably the Ultra, right? Yeah, let's do the Ultra first. I need to find my little pry tools. Here we go. And let's get at it. So the X8 Ultra, both of these units are Amazon Vine review samples. So Amazon Vine is a reviewer program. You guys can Google it. As a Vine voice, I'm actually not supposed to disclose certain things, so I have to be careful what I say here. But, oh yeah, these are nice skates. But, yeah, basically we get products for more or less for free. They are considered taxable income. There's so much more I want to say, but I just don't want to get in trouble for it, so I won't. Oh, I can weigh the skates. Do people care about skate weights? I feel like for how many people who use dots, like people who like min-max weights and like will do dremeling mods, changing skates is such an easy weight savings method. But yeah, we pay tax on basically income tax. So like this Attack Shark X8 Ultra, right? So the price of it is, let's just say $60, okay? And the way the U.S. government, because I live in the USA, sees that is because I received a product worth $70 or $60, they basically say you receive $60 worth of income. So then I have to pay income tax on that. So if we just say 25%, let's just call it, then I'm paying $15 to have this mouse. So is that a screaming deal on a mouse? Absolutely. Do I love Amazon Vine? Absolutely. But does it also suck that I have to pay income, like effectively If I were to turn around and sell this, I'm not selling this for $60 because it's going to go on sale on Amazon for like $49 after coupon, you know? So nobody's buying a used one for... Nobody's buying a used one for the same price. Let's take some... I like to take photos here, so I'm going to be doing a Reddit disassembly post. I'll be doing that in the future, but I got to get all my photos while I'm at it here. Something I need to work on too, I was listening to a couple of podcasts, and they talked about saying and other filler words. And one of the things one of the guys said is simply, filler words, avoid them. Just pause if you need to. So that's actually something I'm working on. I know I say a lot of... I have my own filler words. I say like a lot. And other filler phrases. I remember, speaking of a filler phrase, I had... Oh, I should take pictures of the bottom here, just the screw mounts. That's sometimes helpful for people who are into modding to see. Sometimes, like, you don't need to remove the skates. Oh, I should have had initial weights. Shoot. Okay, well, I guess I could grab those from the live stream VOD. But I'll do them here. Podcasting has been a little bit interesting in terms of learning a new skill, I guess. I'm not at all saying I'm some pro podcaster, but oh shoot. Speaking of pro podcaster, here I am, like, not acknowledging chat and looking down at my scale without actually turning it on. Son of a gun. Okay. Put those screws on. The screw weights matter. Screw weights matter. Alright. There we go. 59.07 grams on the Attack Shark X8 Ultra. Ultar. It's so funny that they mislabeled the box. I kind of wish they mislabeled the mouse itself. That would have been funny as heck. What are people saying in chat? At that price, the A9 Ultimate seems like a better choice. Yeah. So, there's so many GPX clones. That brings up a really good point, Pidger. There's so many GPX clones out on the market. Oh my gosh. Incot G23, Incot G23 V2, Attack Shark X8. The Mchos A7 and A7 V2, the ATK A9, the Rapupu, sorry about that, the Rapupu VT2 is another one. I have one inbound. Sorry if this is off camera here. There we go. Boy, the clips in this one are pretty strong. I mean, having strong clips is generally a good thing. You just have to be careful when disassembling. And it would help if I took out that bottom screw, huh? Could have sworn I got that one. A7 V2 is cheaper. Hey, Dane Cuskley in chat. What's up, Dank? He's one of the guys I play Battlefield with. My R2 skates did not get dust around them after a whole week of use. Yeah, my R2 is like a really good mouse, but the skates aren't rounded. Why they didn't round them, I don't know. Do I still have something holding it up at the front? There we go. Alright, here's the X8 Ultar. Okay. Oh, look at that. They use a JST 1.0 connector for the battery and for the top. Dude, there was one time I nearly fried a mouse because they were using the same connector for the battery and the side button PCB, and I crisscrossed them, and my mouse wouldn't turn on, and so I took it apart and it was getting warm, and I was like, what the heck? I unplugged it and the mouse was fine, but that was kind of funny. Why don't we get a couple photos of the insides here? And I can zoom in for y'all too. Oh yeah, you guys like that zoomed in pic? Zoomed in Attack Shark. Yeah, my overhead light's a little bit harsh here, but what can you do? I actually do want to get a different... I do actually want to get a different overhead light. So I have like weird scan lines you guys can kind of see. This is like the kind of like dark shadowing. It's just an issue with using... Sorry, I'm taking Reddit pictures here. With using an LED overhead light. But that's all I have right now. So internals here, we're looking at a Nordic 52840 MCU, Armron Opticals D2FP-FN2s. We're looking at a 13mm encoder that's a dust-proof with a green core and yellow top. It's very well lubricated. Middle mouse button, we're looking at a tall, looks like 4mm spacer, Huano black shell green dot. So this actually feels quite nice. I do wish I should probably bend this a little bit better to make it more spammable. That's something I like to do, is bend my encoders so they're not so upright, they're a little bit side shifted. VT1 is also kind of a GPX2C clone. Not quite in my opinion. I mean, it's kind of a flat-sided mid-hump, so sure, whatever. Let's take out that battery and check that battery weight, huh? Somebody asked me where I got this orange pry tool. I think this was just from, like, I don't know, I bought, like, a screwdriver kit and this just came with it. You can see it has a good amount of use on it. I actually sometimes have to take my X-Acto knife and shave this to keep it pointed. Battery weight. We are looking at a... It's going to be a 500 milliamp hour if I had to guess. JST 1.0 connector. Can I see? Can I have this? Is the sticker? Oh, here we go. I was taking the sticker off with it too. Yeah. 500 milliamp hour. Manufacture date of June 2025. Nito Burrito. JST 1.0 connector. Pinout is red thermistor black. Let's bend that and get that in the pictures. 9.6 grams, huh? Oh, I should have guessed the weight beforehand. That's always fun. I don't know. Is that fun? Maybe I'm not that fun, you guys. You can say that to my face. I know. All 9 of you guys watching this. This is not a very good live stream. I don't think the Attack Shark X8 is a particularly interesting product. Like Pigger and other people were saying in chat, there's just better GPX clones out there. Also, when you start spending $70 on a GPX clone, it begs the question, should you just get a used GPX? Because used, like, very good condition used, like basically open box condition GPX 1s are on eBay all day long for like $45, $50 here in the US at least. That is GPX 1, so you are getting USB, micro USB instead of USB-C, which is like the worst part of the mouse. It's a fine mouse otherwise. I don't know. I'm okay with the like crappy side buttons, but the micro USB cable, dude. I guess you just have to perpetually leave the adapter, the USB-A adapter plugged in. Yeah, there's a bottom. There's a bottom look at that thing. And why don't I can throw this on here. Somebody was asking about the side buttons. I can already tell you they are 3-pin, 90-degree bent side buttons. Snap that photo. Look at the grease that's still on middle mouse button. Yeah, that silicone grease, dude. Grease just gets everywhere. I don't like grease. It's coarse and gets everywhere. Star Wars reference. Alright, let's tear this scale and get a weight. 10.96 grams. Okay. And I should also try to grab a picture of the encoder. Gotta do 3 clicks on my phone app. Dude, I vent about this like every live stream, but I think it's a valid thing to vent about. There we go. Okay. And I don't think I'm actually going to be modding this one. Attack Sharks, I might fulcrum bend it. I don't know. So, yeah, looking at the top shell here. Let's look at the top shell. This is what I'm talking about. See how the buttons spring back up? So that makes your buttons feel less... It makes them feel heavier because you're having to press down on the button fulcrum and the micro switch. The thing is, if I'm being totally honest, guys, I'm probably going to sell this X8 Ultra. I'm going to do this review. Um, it's a fine mouse. Just the GPX is the same shape, and I have a whole bunch. And big thing for me is this little ridge here on the side. Actually matters to me. They did do a couple things nice here on the PCB or on the shell. You can see right in here on the top of the this is where the axle for the scroll wheel goes. So she looks a little bit like that. And they greased it, which is nice. But you guys see that foam pad right there? That's actually a nice little addition. We have foam pads on mouse 1 and mouse 2 on the upstroke. And we have the centering pins up at the front too that are not lubricated, surprisingly. LED on the front is plastic welded in. Let's take a look at those side buttons. So much preamble. I'm sorry, the dude who wanted side buttons was that Neon. Custom Parts. Hey, Custom Parts, good to see ya. Custom Parts is a guy I recently played Battlefield with. I don't think he knows my mouse obsession, so don't tell him, guys. Nah, it's funny. Like sometimes there's a couple like random discords that I've joined, and even when you go into like when you get into like any sort of, I don't want to say competitive, but like more competitive FPS gaming, people talk about gear more. I mean, nobody's into it like I am, which is totally fine. But there's just kind of like, I mean, yeah, you'll run into people who are just like, I don't know, I've just been using a GPX1 for like 5 years and I have had no reason to switch. But like you explain to them, you know, they'll have heard of Final Mouse, they'll have heard of Zowie, you know, the kind of mainstream other brands. So yeah, here's a clear view of the, sorry, I'm snapping some photos. These are just your typical 3-pin, 90-degree Huano black shell green dots. These feel fine. Yeah, I wonder if the PCB is going to be any different. I swear it felt like the SE had slightly more button sync in on forward mouse. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Yeah, okay. Yeah, TechShark does a good job here. A couple things that I do look for with the top PCB is you want multi-point reinforcement. You usually want some sort of lateral reinforcement, so that's what this member is here that the third screw goes into, so that's good to see. The side buttons are not plastic welded in, they pop right out. They're glossy, so if you hate glossy side buttons, I forget who said that. Was it Jake you in one of his videos? No, I forget who it was, but somebody didn't like glossy side buttons. I'm like, man, I like the textural difference. These have little bits of foam on them too, which is nice to see. Again, that just helps with kind of quieting and making sure, well, these are going to press backwards on the button and make sure that they stay in contact with the dots, meaning you'll have no pre-travel. That's actually a really nice thing to see. That is a really nice touch. I wonder if the SE is going to be the same way, because this is additional cost. These things are probably placed by hand in the factory. I'm coping they're 3-pin. I don't like glossy anything. Matte is just better, eh? Yeah, I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, I like glossy mice, but even if I didn't like glossy mice, I still think I would like a textural difference. Like a weird mouse, for example. Red Dragon does this with all their mice. On their side buttons, they'll make one have dots to it. They'll make one have dots, and then the other one will be smooth. And I actually like it. There's just something about, oh, right, that's, you know, forward mouse and this one's back mouse. It's little touches like that that look cheap, but textile, like texture feedback while you're gaming can be helpful. Isn't it something too that like our reaction times to visual stimulus is longer than by touch? I thought I heard that somewhere. I hope I'm not spreading misinformation. Chat, fact check me. Neon Thunder says, I like the Eweodon S9, or Eweodon as it's supposed to be pronounced. S9 Ultra. Oh man, I can't, okay, I guess I can't screw and read chat at the same time. Build quality is so good. I love the side switches and build quality, etc., but it's so heavy and the main clicks are absolute dog water. Yeah, you might want to try fulcrum bending it. That helps with a lot of mice. Custom parts here says my first mouse was a Red Dragon. Honestly, I like the texture difference because less chance of pressing the wrong button, etc. Yeah, exactly. And I get that it like kind of looks cheap and gimmicky, but I don't know. Maybe they could execute a different texture pattern that doesn't look so cheap. Maybe they do like a cross hatching, or they just, I don't know. How would you do it where it doesn't look cheap or out of place? Maybe one is like concave and the other one is convex. So when you look at it, it looks like symmetrical, but then the feel is actually very different. That's an idea. Yeah, dude, one day, dream job, I design my own mouse. I sell my own mice, dude. I would so be down for that. Yeah. I was even talking to Daz about job stuff on Discord and just how like I don't know, I'm in automotive manufacturing right now. And there's kind of two sides to it. Sorry, I'm gonna ramble here because we're live streaming, so you guys get to just listen to me talk. With automotive manufacturing, there's two sides you can be on pretty much when it comes to like manufacturing, right? So I'm a mechanical engineer. You can be on the supplier side or on the OEM side, as you'll call it. OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer. So an OEM is the end assembly. That's Ford, GM, Chrysler, Honda, Toyota, Kia, etc. The supplier side, all of these cars are not just Ford doesn't just make every single part. No different than this mouse here. Attack Shark doesn't make the micro switch. Attack Shark doesn't make the sensor. They don't make the MCU. What they do is they buy all these things. They design a PCB. They design a shell. They'll get with a plastic injection molding supplier, or maybe they have their own in-house. They buy all these things and they assemble it. That's really what they do. They design it and they assemble it. So yes, with manufacturing, you can be. This is like really not wanting to go in. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna try taking the scroll wheel out. Am I zoomed in too much? No, I think I'm okay. I'll zoom out just a hair. Peripherals LLC. Yeah, don't. Yeah, you guys can look into. So LLC, I'm surprised you know that term because I think that's more of an American legal thing. But so I'm getting sidetracked. But yes, Phalanges Co. You'll see my eBay and my Twitter are both Phalanges Co. Also, there might be other stuff branded to Phalanges LLC, but I kind of don't want to spoil anything. I don't have any major plans at this time, but I also don't want to say anything out of place. So, yeah, someday, guys. Someday, maybe. But supplier side versus OEM side. So the supplier side, it's typically there's more job opportunities in general. You know, you can work on everything from cooling systems to, you know, metal parts, engine parts, to electrical parts, to all sorts of things. So if you're on the supplier side, you can have a pretty broad skill set. On the OEM side, though, the OEMs generally pay a bit better, and they'll get, like, really good benefits. Like, I know, the American automotive companies near where I live, my friends who work there all get like really nice paid paternity leave. Their pay will generally be not like leaps and bounds higher than mine, but you know, like 10, 15, 20% higher. But one of the problems with the OEMs is you're very much a cog in the machine. I mean, these are companies that are, you know, 100,000 employees. So you'll be, as an engineer, you'll be designing like this one nut and bolt of the car that goes in this one place and serves this one purpose, and it's engineered to the nth degree because you have to produce 2 million of them a year. So every, you know, milligram of steel material that you take out of it matters, and all these things. So with the OEM side, you can get really pigeonholed. So there's always like a fear of layoffs too with like publicly traded companies and really large companies, right? Your team will just be like laid off. And then you have this super niche knowledge that doesn't transfer anywhere. So getting laid off from an OEM can be kind of scary. And because the whole market follows, the whole industry follows the market. If you're at GM and you get laid off and you want to go next door to Ford because they're the only other ones who have that ultra specific bolt that needs a designer. Well, GM's also probably laying off people too because it's the same market. So there's pros and cons to being on the supplier versus the OEM side. And it's so funny because you talk to people, and on either side, the other one always thinks the other side, the grass is greener over there. I have coworkers who used to work at OEMs, and they are now at the supplier that I'm at, and they're like, oh, dude, it's so much better. I'm not having to chase down issues in the plant and production problems where I'm having to get called at 3 a.m. because something blew up the plant and they need me to come down and take a look at it. But then on the flip side, it's like, dang, dude, I would really like to have 3 months of fully paid paternity leave, and ain't no supplier giving you that. Because suppliers are squeezed on price, right? So let's say, going back to the specialized bolt thing, and so Ford will design this special bolt, and they'll go out to 18 suppliers saying, we need 2 million of these produced annually, and they'll go out to 18 suppliers, and all these 18 suppliers put together bids who say, okay, it's going to be this price per unit. Then somebody undercuts them and says, nope, we can make it for this price a unit, blah, blah, blah. So the margins at the supplier side, it's very, very competitive. It can be tough to, win a contract because you're competing with all these other people who produce the same gizmo. My scissors? I need my scissors. Personally, I think Attack Shark is a factory. They get orders for items and they just steal the designs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Attack Shark, well, again, Attack Shark, like, the factory name will be, like, Shenzhen Technology Co. Limited or something. And then Attack Shark is just, like, the Americanized brand, that's the outward consumer-facing brand. But yeah, Attack Shark is definitely, I mean, they have really high production volumes, definitely compared to, like, I don't know, compared to, like, somebody like a Ninjutsu. Part of that's because they sell, lower tier products, so they sell more volume. Presumably. But there are a lot of, like, Attack Shark looking designs out on the market. Like, basically all Attack Shark, Ajaz, Mamba Snake, they all look the same. They're probably all the same and built in the same factory. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna put the X8 Ultra back together. And we're just gonna keep chit-chatting before I get to the X8 SE disassembly. Yeah, I don't know. For those of you guys who are not in the US and chat right now, is Attack Shark relevant for you guys? Attack Shark is, Attack Shark... Where's my tweezers? My tweezers. Here in the US, Attack Shark is... I don't want to say... So, like, American communities like r/mouse review, people don't like Attack Shark because it's kind of cheap stuff. But Attack Shark is sold on Amazon US, which is huge. I mean, man, if I had another person on the live stream right now, I would tell them to go to Amazon's webpage and look up. You can see how many units Amazon sells a month. They'll be like 3,000 plus purchased this month. I'm really glad the PCB actually labels. These are both JST 1.0 connectors. One of them's labeled battery, the other one's labeled con for connector, so that's good. But Attack Shark, I'm sure they are getting some mainstream appeal, not r/mouse review kind of stuff. Water break. Piger says 3311 Viper V3 clone for like $14. Yeah, it's the same story here in the US. So like here's the Attack Shark X11 SE. So this is a Viper V3 Pro clone, exact one-to-one copy. And it's actually not terrible. Like the mechanical click implementation of this is actually pretty good. I changed the scroll wheel on mine and glossified it, so yeah, ignore that part. But I actually really like this mouse. I just have wireless interference problems with it when I'm using it at work. But I actually really like this. Is like my favorite 3311 mouse. And the pink is like really vibrant on it. The weight's not very good, but yeah, and these are available on Amazon all day long. Like the usual price is $30, but the coupon click to clip this coupon price is like $20 to $25 quite frequently. So Attack Shark here in the US is, I'm sure they're gaining popularity with the people who are just looking and like, dude, you want to talk what good mice can you recommend to a friend who's like, I have $30, recommend me a mouse, and he's like a mainstream gamer, doesn't really care about, you know, super duper lightweight, cutting edge performance. Bro, Attack Shark. Like, don't get a G305 that takes rechargeable, disposable batteries, though I guess some people actually like that, and is like heavy. The VXE-R1, yeah, that's the thing though. I mean, you tell somebody to go buy a VXE-R1 and they're like, what the heck is that? But you send somebody an Amazon link and they're like, sure. Maybe that's a cultural difference too. Here in the US, low effort purchases are a really big deal. Like Amazon, it's all about you just click a couple buttons and you've checked out already. And it's already like on its way to your house. And you understand that you're paying a premium like compared to AliExpress, but it's no fuss. And you can literally just purchase in like 2 clicks and it's reliable. Whereas like AliExpress just seems like a very culturally different, like the prices are not that great, but there's all these stupid mini games and check-in things you can do, and coupons and sales and seller coupons and bundle savings and coins that then make things actually very, very cheap. But the thing is, people just don't, I think Americans just don't care. I think we're just, right, Lauren? We're just lazy Americans, and we don't want to play a bunch of mini games to get a product. We'll just spend a little bit more. I know I do, because I want a deal and I'm dumb and I probably should just spend that time doing something else that produces more money, but I want a deal. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. Yeah. I like thrifting. Yeah. Yeah, not everyone has patience to treasure hunt or thrift, but maybe that's just an American privilege. We'd like rather work or do other things. I don't know. Yeah. Alright, those clicks feel fine. I should turn this on, make sure it all works. Yep, turns on. Bluetooth mode activated. Okay. Alright, X8 Ultra. I hope I got all the photos that I wanted. I just reassembled it and I'm like, oh, I forgot literally to take a bunch of photos. I think I got all the photos I wanted. That's enough for the Reddit post. Let's put the skitty skates back on. X3 used to have the dead issue, so yeah. X3, I like my X3. I don't know why the X3 isn't talked about anymore. I guess it's just kind of considered out of date, but the PCB is small on the X8 or X3 too. Like, if people were gonna, you know, PCB modder, like 3D printed mouse modders were gonna choose something, bro, I modeled Attack Shark X3 PCB because it's small. It's a $30 mouse. It's like a $30, $33.95. It's widely available. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad play though. Maybe they're gonna stop producing it sometime soon. Same thing here in Vietnam, but the availability makes a big difference. I got my L7 Plus shipped to my house within a day. Really makes it hard for my self-impulse. Yeah. I would stay up to midnight to hunt nice deals and vouchers on Shopee. Yeah. The long shipping time probably makes a bigger factor for you and Daz when ordering. Yeah, absolutely. Not even the long shipping. I mean, definitely the long shipping time, right? Because generally if you're purchasing a product, you generally need it. You know, we're in this like weird mouse niche where like we have a bunch of mice, and so I mean you're excited to get the mouse, but you have one perfectly functioning at home. Whereas the majority of shoppers, you're purchasing something not to collect but to solve an issue, and if you're not looking to delay that resolution to that issue. The other thing though is just the long shipping time and the Chinese nature of it. There's just a mistrust of it. And I'm not even talking about like American mistrust of Chinese, although that definitely is a thing. I'm just talking about like it's this website that you've never heard of before, and it's a user interface that you're not familiar with, and you're entering your credit card number, and then you don't really see anything for 2 or 3 weeks. There's just a mistrust. Or not mistrust, a lack of okay, so mistrust is like, I'm pretty sure you're a liar, whereas uncertainty, sorry, is the better word. Uncertainty. That's the word I'm looking for. Um I was gonna go Karma Farm, James Donkey RSR 7 Ultra, but my friend chastised me, so I guess I won't post. Wait, RSR 7? You have? You have an RSR 7? Bro, and you don't want to post it for Karma? Dude, post it. I'll cover it on Mousecast. Because the only pictures that I had were the ones that were on Twitter very briefly. So the James Donkey RSR 7 looks like a banger. It looks kind of like what is it, a Sora? An X2? Something like that? Do I want a dongle pick too? Let's do a dongle pick also, why not? Dongle pick. And I can read some more of your chat questions. Yeah, this Attack Shark dongle is kind of nice. I do like that they got the little rubber on the bottom. No, just launch information, not the actual mouse. It goes on sale the 25th. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Neon Thunder, you should post it. Selfishly, because we're recording Mousecast on the 26th, so please post it because I want to talk about it before it's launched. I might not be able to squeeze it in. I'm gonna be at a job site this week, so I might not be up to date with the mouse news. And I feel bad, like, there's been a couple times where I've asked Daz to, like, help out with, to be clear, he'll agree with this. You guys want me to roast Daz? He doesn't do jack shit for Mousecast. But that's okay, because I am just so happy that he takes the time to show up. Seriously. It's been really, really nice. Like, I don't know what, like, I would have been hosting the show by myself, and I don't know if I would have gotten, well, from the one poll that we did, like, a third of Mousecast's viewership is from Daz. And Daz's channel, it's like, Mousecast is right there. I'm surprised he promotes it as much as he does, because it feels like, I don't know, from your guys' perspective, does it feel like a Phalanges and Daz thing equally? Does it feel like more of a Phalanges thing? I mean, it's on my channel, and I'm kind of the one who talks more. But Daz is really the one with the publicity. Because even though I have like 2,000 subscribers, I have like roughly similar subscribers to him, he has way more relevant subscribers. All of his subscribers are mouse scene. My subscribers, about 1,500 of my subscribers are from Star Wars Battlefront days, which don't really care about mouse stuff, really. Not really. So, like, realistically, Mousecast subscribers, if I had started a separate channel, maybe we'd be at, like, 500, 600, 700, somewhere around that. So by that means, Daz's channel is, like, as of right now, like 4, 5x what my channel is. Even though our subscriber numbers are currently pretty similar. So I'm just really, really glad he shows up. And I've told him this. I don't know if he really cares, but yeah, I'm just glad he shows up. But yes, if I ask him to, like, prep something for the doc, there's like a 75% chance it won't be done. Oh, I don't want to delaminate that skate. I gotta really dig under these skates. So let's start with the, sorry, I was rambling there, and I know I can't multitask the best, so I was just talking straight to the camera. We're gonna do the X8SE now. I will get a weight picture. We already weighed it. Well, I'm gonna guess it's 58.89 grams. Oh, darn. My savant weight measuring was off by 0.01 grams. 58.88. That's with the dongle door. I actually should do the, I do actually like to do that. I like to do the picture with the dongle door. Yeah, this is the, I should even do it. Yeah, I should really do it this way, so people can see it's the SE. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, these SE mice, 3311, a lot of people just, like, instantly are like, nope, not interested. And that's fine. I kind of am the same way. Like, I just have so many mice that, like, if I just were to start buying 3311 mice, it's too much. But if you're still in the phase of wanting to try shapes, bro, I don't understand. Well, I do understand. On, like, eBay, there's 3D printer dudes who will sell Oh, I'm leaving the substrate behind. What the heck? Who will sell like 3D 3D printer shape things, like printed out. You can get them shipped to you. Oh yeah, these are thin. These are thin skates. We're gonna get a weight difference too with the skates. So before, the skates on the Ultra were 1.91 grams, I believe. And I'm gonna guess these are gonna be 1.39. Oh, so close. So yes, just judging by weight alone there, the Ultra skates are like 50% heavier. So you want to call it 50% thicker? I think that would be fair. Like these aren't terrible skates, okay? But they're just thin. They're just thin. Yeah. It's so crazy seeing the view count. So I have a tablet. You guys want to see how I do this? I have a tablet. This is a tablet right right here. So I'm actually watching my own stream, and I watch the viewer count. Like, I don't know how we're at 15 viewers. This is not that interesting. But then it'll jump down to like 8. What was I talking about before? I was complaining about Daz. No, I do like Daz. I got pretty lucky with a co-host that was so willing to do this. And most importantly, guys, Mousecast, we just did our 46th episode. Our 46th. Go back to some of the early ones, and I remember being like, if we make it past episode 20, I think we're gonna call that a success. Because I was thinking, anytime you start something, it is really hard to stick with it. You have to, in chat, what do you guys do to be able to stick with something? Whether it's, I don't know, working out, or staying motivated with a diet, or with something that is, good or fun, but also a bit of work. How do you stick with it? And I remember 20 was kind of the number I had in my head, where it was like, it's very likely that, like, the danger, doing like 3, 4, 5 episodes is pretty normal. I think then the danger zone is like 10 to 20. That's where it's like you start getting sick of it, or you're running out of things to say, or you're losing interest in it. You're truly losing interest in it. You were interested, but it's fizzled out. But 20 was the point where I was like, I feel like if we make it to 20, that will tell us that this is sustainable or not, either in time commitment, in terms of production, in terms of effort, in terms of things to say, etc. Yeah. So kudos to Daz, and I guess partially to myself, sure, I'll selfishly say that, for sticking with it this long. I'm hoping to do something special for the... Oh, look at that. The side button PCB is... Oh, it's a different number of wires? Why? Brother, what? It's a JST 1.0 connector, but it's a 4-pin, whereas on the Ultra it was a 3-pin. Why? What are they using the 4th pin for? There's not an LED. I don't know. Anyway, the PCB actually looks very similar. I'll snap some photos here for the old Reddit post. So catching up on chat here, molds cost big bucks. There are mouse tester kits selling for 15 to 20 bucks in Taobao too. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was gonna say. The mouse tester kits, like, just get a 3311 version of a mouse, and then if you don't like it, just sell it or return it. I don't know, mouse tester kits, it's like, I like the idea. Another thing too is click feel matters a lot, and like putting yourself in the grip and actually clicking the buttons matters, I think, too. Big companies like ATK can afford to do separate mold, like the ATK U2, whose nano dongle version has storage. But yeah, I mean, yes, molds cost money, but mold design can also cost a lot. So like the refinements, like there is a mold design difference between the Ultra and the non. Look at this. So the dongle storage door, and then also the internal, because this needs to have the internal door storage also. But the shape and everything is going to be the same. As long as they don't change enough, you can also run into weird things with like injection molding. So remember, you're injecting liquid plastic, and then you have to cool it down. You ever cool down something too quickly, right? Here's one. You ever take a baking sheet out of the oven, and when you take it out and you set it down, you got cookies on it or whatever, and as it starts to cool, it'll pop, it'll twist, it'll distort. that's like thermal expansion acting on it, right? So you run into the same thing with injection molding, and I worked in magnesium and aluminum die casting for automotive components for a little bit. I was on the supplier side. We did a very special like fluid delivery type system stuff, but point is that we made oil spray systems basically. I mean, how do you get a metal part out of a metal mold? You spray it with oil. How do you get a cookie off a cookie sheet? You spray it with oil. Same idea. So I didn't actually do like the magnesium casting itself, but there is really complex simulation that goes around mold design, because how that plastic cools down can lead to all sorts of things. Like, you guys don't realize it, but to make this mold, it's not just as simple as take a big hunk of metal and you drill out exactly the shape. There's like fluid dynamics going on here and heat transfer dynamics going on. And something like this minor little dongle door probably doesn't affect it. Yeah, I mean, if you were to like, I don't know, change to a mini size, that might. Or like changing wall thickness is a really big one. So like having a lightweight versus, so Ninjutsu, for example, they have the 10 air and the normal 10. I'm sorry, I should continue my disassembly and try to talk. And there's actually a slight weight difference between the two, and I think they attributed it to mold refinements, I think was their verbiage. I forget what it was specifically. If you guys know, say it in chat. But was it a thinner wall? But there's like actually engineering design that goes on to achieve that, even though you're like, oh, it's the same shape. There actually can be, not all the time, but something like an injection molded mouse where like we are all super anal about quality and creaking and fitment and finish. I would bet the injection molds for mice are a rather challenging one compared to something like, I don't know, the injection mold for this screwdriver container that I have here. Another thing with injection molds, they also wear out over time. I don't know exact numbers, but you know, I imagine the lower life ones are, you know, only hundreds or thousands of injections, whereas the longer life ones are maybe hundreds of thousands or millions. I don't know where mice would fall in that, but yeah, molds are very expensive to produce. They're, you know, they're special alloys of steel that are very hardened, and machining them is usually done on like multi-axis CNCs that are really expensive. Yep, sorry, this was welcome to Phalange's manufacturing talk. I'm telling you guys, one day I'll have my own mouse brand. Probably not, but I would like to dream. Oh, I forgot the power slider. If I have my own mouse brand, you guys can bet your ass I would like have a blog or something showing manufacturing and behind the scenes type of stuff, both from the like, I think, design engineering manufacturing side, because I think that's kind of cool, but also from the like business side. I do rather like, having worked at startups, I do like business type stuff. What's your Discord, Piger? I talked to you before, lol. Let me message you. Okay, you guys. Okay, good. I'm doing okay. So yeah, Huano transparent blue shell pink dots. We have a different encoder on this. It's still a 13mm, but it's interesting. I felt like this was actually slightly more tactile than the Ultra, but I was like, it can't be. They're probably using the same encoder. Soldering a different encoder would be wild, especially since it doesn't feel particularly good. Like if the Ultra had a TTC Gold, I'd be like, okay, the non-Ultra will have a cheap encoder. That's not the case. They're both cheap encoders that don't have a label to them. And let me get a couple close-up shots for, you know, something I used to do too is I used to weigh scroll wheels, because, well, first of all, let's do a scroll wheel spin. And oh, did they not lubricate? No, they did lubricate this one. There was that one time I like yeeted a scroll wheel on stream. Also, I timestamped it and put it in pet pics in our Discord. There was a time that I accidentally grabbed a mouse pad tube and I bonked my dog on the nose with it, and then I like apologized to her and I showed it to my wife, and she was laughing so hard because you can hear the audible bonk. My poor dog. Oh man. I mean, she was fine. Like, it was just a little bonk, but you know. There we go. That's a good picture. Okay. Yeah, I would like to get a better quality camera, phone camera someday too. Speaking of dog, there she is. Hi, doggy. Pet the doggy. It's so funny. They just sleep like piglets. They don't fold. I grew up with cats. And it's so weird how dogs like they don't tuck their legs really. Like sometimes they'll curl it, but it's nothing like a cat. It's nothing like a cat. Yeah. They just kind of sleep like piglets with their legs out. Dogs are such wholesome animals, I tell you that. I love my dog. I talk about her probably like every stream. I don't know, you gotta find something to talk about, you know? You guys want to learn another thing about injection molding? Have you guys ever taken apart a mouse and saw these polka dots? Can you guys see those? Should I zoom in? These polka dots are called witness marks. They are from the ejector pins pushing out the mold, the part. So when the plastic is all cooled down, it's stuck inside the mold, so how do you pop it out? There's a bunch of little pins that are inside the mold and they push it. And the plastic is still really hot and melty at this point, so when they press, they leave little witness marks. So you can see just how many pins there are. There's a ton of pins on this, and that's because they're really trying to push this out uniformly. They're not trying to, imagine if you just put a pin here and a pin here, then when you go to push it out, you're going to bow the whole thing, especially since it's still melty and hot. So yeah, on a part that doesn't matter, like if you don't care about it bending a whole bunch, then yeah, you probably would want to use fewer pins because it would be a cheaper mold. But for something like a mouse base where like flatness is really important, then yeah, they need a crap ton of pins. You're talking about mini games on AliExpress, like getting the best price with coupons, this and that. Is there a guide where I can read up on that? Says Marvin in chat. Yeah, so Marvin, join our Discord, and in the deals chat, go to the pinned messages. You know how to get to the pinned messages? It's the little pin at the top right of once you're under deals chat. In the pinned messages, there's a user on Reddit named Crown Puff, who put together a spreadsheet of coupon codes. And he's active, I think, on like some of the, how do you say, like handheld knockoff electronic gizmos subreddits. There you go. By the way, guys, same exact battery in the SE, 500 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt. It weighs, I don't know if that caught on stream, but 9.3-ish grams. Crown Puff has a spreadsheet, Marvin, that is helpful. It's kind of wordy, it's a spreadsheet. It's not like a really helpful YouTube guide. I would like to make a really helpful YouTube guide someday, but also I only have so much time in a day, so but as of right now, I'm gonna go on my AliExpress app and I can actually just show you guys, because I haven't finished my coins for the day. I just want to make sure I'm not gonna show anything confidential. Value radar, this is okay. And local shipping, this is okay. Okay, yeah, you know what? Oh, this is so jank. This is how we're gonna do it though. Okay, I hope the lighting's okay. So in AliExpress, the things that I do are, first of all, the coins. I use a lot of coins because a lot of the consumables, like switches and encoders and stuff, consume a lot of coins. So from the super coins page, every day you check in, you can get 70 coins, which is 70 cents equivalent. And then you hit here, earn more coins. And there's a bunch of different things you can do. And they're not really games. It's really just like search for what you love. So you tap on that. I'm just going to search one random thing that I recently searched for because I really don't care, which is just a ROM mouse. I go back, and now that's checked off, and I got 5 additional coins, which is 5 cents. So this takes me like 5 minutes every day. So you get about 70 from checking in, and then you get about another 75-ish from doing all the different little mini things. So I do coins every day. You guys can see here your total coins amount. I should really like just screen share my phone one day. My total coins, I have 367 right now. But yeah, you can see that I have an absolute crap ton of coins. or that I've saved a bunch with coins. The other thing that you can do is, so currently right now they're doing a promotion, at least here in the US, this is different for different regions. I can get $1 a day in shopping credits. Shopping credits are basically cash equivalent. The coins can only be used on certain coin items. I don't want to get into it because that's not quite what you asked about, but for me, I go down to local shipping and I can earn $10 daily credit, which is I go here and I have to check in and then I have to browse some items. And by browse, you just tap on like 5 items and then it gives you 50 cents. Then I get another 50 cents by going to Value Radar. I'm sorry, my screen is such crap here, but yeah, Value Radar, and I get 50 cents here from doing the same thing. Have I already done mine? I've already done mine. Yeah, I've already done mine. So I think this says up to $10, so I'm guessing you're going to max out at $10 of credit, but the credit is cash equivalent. So you get $1 a day. That's pretty good. And these only take, you know, 30 seconds to get that dollar. So that's what I do. And then there's other things like the seller coupons, the store coupons, the sales. So also on the pinned messages is, let's see, did I already get a picture of this? Also in the pinned messages in our Discord is the sale calendar. AliExpress sale calendar. And the Choice Day sales are at the beginning of every single month. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that answers your question. Let me know if there's anything I did not cover. I'm gonna snap another photo of this bad boy. There we go. Okay. So the X8, do I want to keep the X8 SE? Because it's not really worth a lot of money. Like, I could sell it on eBay for like $20-ish, and then after shipping and everything, I'm probably only gonna make like $10 on it. Maybe I'll bundle it with the X8 Ultra. I really don't. The thing is, I have so many GPX clones, and I have like better ones too, like the Incut G23 V2, and I hardly use it. Yeah, I don't think I'll use this simply because I like the scroll wheel alone on the GPX and middle mouse is like really nice and spammable, and that's one thing that has me coming back to this. Also, I modded mine so the clicks in mine feel really, really good. My side buttons still feel like crap, but that's GPX for you. So why don't we put Humpty back together? More pupper content. Hey, the Xe piqued my curiosity. How is the QC and how did Attack Shark improve on their crappy skates? Says Jeremy JK. Go back to the beginning of the stream, Jeremy. The TLDR is these are very good. The Ultra, they're the same mold. The Ultra, you'll get better skates. You'll get coating and you'll get armor on opticals. The SE is just fine. It's a typical Attack Shark release, though improved in terms of like build quality. The skates are really thin. The Ultras, obviously, if you're kind of a connoisseur, you like more premium stuff, the Ultra's the way to go for the coating and the skates alone. Though, maybe you should just buy aftermarket skates. I don't know. I still think the X8 is probably not the GPX clone play, if I'm being honest. Daz has some videos on other GPX clones, and I think he would agree. Can I focus, please? There we go. The PCB in these, it's like... There we go. Yeah, it's just a little funky to go in there. Put the scroll wheel back in. We'll put the screws back in too next. Way better skates than QC is solid. Yeah, already on Discord, familiar with that. Oh, okay, good. Okay, very good. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, Marvin, the 3 things I do are the daily coin check-ins, the tech, or sorry, the ships locally, 50 cents, and the, tech radar. Or no, value radar, sorry. I don't know why I keep saying tech. I wonder when silicon carbon battery comes to mouse. It has good higher energy density, so it's probably lighter. Silicon carbon batteries. Is this like solid state batteries? Yeah, I know solid state batteries will be a really big, there'll be another significant jump. It's not going to be like, it's not just going to instantly make lithium polymer stuff totally obsolete, but it will be kind of like, you guys remember NiCad batteries like in power tools back in like the 90s? I don't know, maybe I'm showing my age here. It was more like my dad's power tools. When lithium stuff came out, NiCad was like, yes, a NiCad drill can still drill a hole, but if you're buying a new drill, no way in heck are you buying a NiCad. You're definitely buying a lithium. I think solid state batteries will have the same thing, especially with like cars. It's going to just look very much, first generation, where it's like, yes, a typical lithium ion or lithium polymer, whatever battery vehicle will get you, 250 miles, but like they're heavy. They take a long time to charge. So then people who are buying new vehicles are instantly going to go towards solid state, which can have like really, I want to say it's like 2x faster charge time and like 2x the energy density or something like that. Yeah. I was at an industry conference and Toyota gave a talk and they said that they were planning on having solid state batteries in production vehicles in 2028, was it? Oh no, I forgot the lens. Son of a gun. Okay. You gotta put the lens back in. Cool. I'm good. There is, I forget the name of the hypercar, but there's a hypercar out right now that has a solid state battery. I really don't know much about how solid state batteries work. Like, I have a sort of understanding of batteries in general. You have a anode and a cathode, and you have an electrolytic material between the two, and blah, 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 and the electrons flow from one side to the other and build up on the other and whatever. But I really don't know the, like, chemistry or actual physics behind it or anything. What makes a solid state better. Also, solid state's supposed to be way safer. That was another thing too, right? Like, something scary about battery vehicles, or at least initially scary. I guess we figured it out a little bit better now. But fires, right? So you puncture in a lithium polymer or a lithium ion battery, and there are a bunch of layers, right? It's a bunch of like layers, and you puncture it, meaning it shorts all the layers together, and then that creates, it releases all the energy in a short, so it creates a fire. And I guess solid state batteries are not supposed to have that same issue. I don't know. I'm kind of talking outside of my wheelhouse here, so this is not the battery podcast. This is the mouse podcast. You guys, if I say like a wrong spec on a mouse or something, you guys can call me out for it. But don't call me out for being like, Phalange, solid state batteries are not. You're wrong. It's a 1.5x longevity increase, not 2x. Yeah. AliExpress is another universe. I typically just buy every day is a school day. Yep. I get it though. Like if you're a student, you don't want to spend the money though on like full price stuff, but yeah. I think something that helps being a student would just be you think in terms of resellability, okay? So for example, if you buy an Attack Shark X8 Ultra, I'm sorry, these are not going to hold their resale value. This is like $60, $70 MSRP. If I were to go sell this on eBay right now, it probably wouldn't move until I sold it for like $35 with free shipping. Meaning after fees and shipping costs, I'm only going to get about $25 for it for something that I paid $60, $70 for. That sucks. But, okay, so I'm out. In that scenario, I'm out $35, $45, right? Scenario 2 is you buy something more name brand, like let's say Ninjutsu 10. You buy Ninjutsu 10 for $90. You could turn around and sell that for probably, right now, $70-ish. After fees and shipping, you'd be getting about 60 out of it. So you'd only be out $30, even though you bought a more expensive product. So, but there's better name recognition, there's better resellability. So I guess that would be my suggestion. Like, this is free returns aside, definitely leverage free returns if they're, I know like Micro Center. I went into a Micro Center a while back, and I wanted to try a new mouse. Or this is actually a friend. I'll tell the story because it was actually the friend's story. He wanted to buy a new mouse. There was an open box one that they had taped over, and he was like wanting to open it, and an employee was like, "Hey, you can't open that." And he was like, "Oh, it's open box already though. I just want to check the shape." And the employee said to him, "We can't let you open in the store. You have to buy it, go out to your car, put your hand on it, and if you don't like it, walk right back into the store." How inefficient from like the Micro Center perspective, you know? Doesn't that just seem dumb? Like, now they're gonna have to document all of this crap for something that, you know, he could have just checked in the store. But I also get doing it because, like, you want to have technically a procedure to do something. So, you know, people aren't, you know, destroying the accessories or destroying the mouse in the store and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't think I got any photos of this side of the mouse, so... It looks like, yeah, the mold's the same. It looks like they still did the foam bits on the clicks. Let's grab a couple more photos here for the old Reddit. Change my aspect ratio with 3 friggin' clicks. I love this new app. Change the aspect ratio again. Let's open this up. I gotta eat lunch soon. Wow, 19 people watching at one point? Jeez, is that right? Now there's only 8 people watching. Yeah, I don't know how... What are you guys up to right now? Do you guys just actively watch this? Am I really that engaging? I don't think I am, but... Kudos if you like it. I just figure that, like, people aim train. Or have it on in the background while they do chores or something. Who knows? Okay, PCB looks the same for the SE side buttons. Guano black shell, green dots. 3-pin 90-degree angled. Only 2 of the pins soldered in. It's weird that the connector is now a 4-pin JST instead of a 3-pin. Why? I don't know. Reasons? Look at that. There's not an extra screw on this one. There's 2 screws here, but only 1 here. Wonder why that is. Pop the side buttons out. Nice. Good to see on the side buttons they have foam bits. I'll take a picture of that. Cool. Alright, let's put it back together. My dog's still sleeping. What a cutie pie. Let's see. Chinese phones have been using and they achieve like 7.5k milliamp hour in the space of a 5k milliamp hour. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, I thought you were talking like solid state batteries. Carbon silicon? I don't know. I do know carbon is a really good conductor, right? Like they talk about carbon nanotubes for all sorts of different things, and one of them is that carbon is like really electrically conductive. And I forget why that is. Carbon has an atomic number of 14, right? What are the valence shell electron levels again? 2, 4, 8? 2, 6, 8? Something about, I don't know. Isn't it like more conductive materials have incomplete valence shell electron levels? So they're more willing to receive electrons? Something like that. You're taking up 100% of my second monitor while I doom scroll Billy videos of the A9 Ultimate on my main monitor. Bro, that's amazing. Yeah, Billy is good, dude. I wish I could make a Billy account because when you view it without an account, you're locked to like, I don't know, 480p or something. And I do a lot of screenshots of Billy stuff. You know, for Reddit posts. Yeah, these are... Yeah, I was gonna say these feel like Juanos, but they're just too bendy. The click implementation is just a little stiff for my liking. I would do a fulcrum bend, but again, I think I'm just gonna sell this. That's a shame. You know what else is a shame? That, like, international shipping's so expensive. Like Daz, he does giveaways sometimes, right? But like it just sucks shipping something internationally. Like I shipped a mouse to Australia not that long ago. It was like it was like it was like $50 USD for it was technically two mice because I think I shipped in the shell back too. It was like $50 USD though. And I feel bad because it's like I did it for this guy. It was a mod, and he doesn't see like any value. He doesn't see $50 of value increase. That just goes to UPS or whatever, or to FedEx. But for me, I don't see any of that money. But that's shipping for you, I guess. You should turn this on. Make sure she actually turns on. Good. Red LED, blue LED for Bluetooth. Cool beans. Let me just clean this up a little bit here, get some of the dust off before I put the skates on. I do really like using a toothbrush. Toothbrush is a really good DIY tool to keep at your workbench or whatever. Just an old toothbrush. You know, each time I go to the dentist, you get a free one, so put it to use. Yeah. It's good for all sorts of things. Like I have one at my workbench in my garage too, at the sink, you know, you gotta clean like a little part or something, or get the grease out of a groove or something. They also make decent nail brushes too. Like if you get goobers under your fingernails. I want to send him your segment on Fulcrum mod for your F2 modding live stream, but I do Fulcrum modding work on carbon fiber. Maybe, yeah, carbon fiber can be pretty rigid, so that could be tough. A9 Ultimate gets Nordic 54. Yup, that's true. We covered that on Mousecast this week. 600 hours at 1 kHz with 800 milliamp hours. Really good. Yeah, it is. We're going to start to see that more, though. Like, I don't know why Razer's Nordic, they're using a 54 series, right? And they're only doing 150 hours, 1K with a 306 milliamp hour battery. Now, I do remember the Razer rep said that's a really conservative figure, and he said something interesting. He said battery life numbers are like kind of tricky because it really depends on the wireless environment. If you're in a really wireless signal noisy environment, it has to do a lot more like signal hopping, which I guess consumes more battery. Also, it just comes down to probably, I don't know if like how much you click a mouse, if that affects battery life. I don't think so. For mechanical switches, I doubt it. Actually, wait, for mechanical switch, I don't know. It's not a load. A switch isn't a load device, right? But optical switches do consume a little bit of battery because they need the optical laser beam, the light source. But I guess that's constant. That's not dependent on how often you click. Yep. All right, there's the X8 skate SE skates back on. So I did no changes, but no changes. We'll grab a super light comparison here too. Why not? People like that. Yeah, just taking some photos here for the old Reddit. It's because they're using non-low power chipset. 54H20 is different from 54L15 that Rapupu and the A9 is using. Oh, thank you, Pigger. I knew there was a difference that I didn't know what it was. That's why 54H20 that the duckbill uses gives us approximately the same battery life as the Viper. Yeah, but also the duckbill is why is my camera so... The duckbill is also not using it in the dongle, right? So you're only getting minor battery life improvements, but they had to release the new dongle. I think you're probably up to date on all that news. You seem pretty into it if you know the difference between the 254 series chipsets. I like that they use H and L for like high power, low power. That makes sense with my brain. Rapu VT3S is solid. Mine is in the mail. I don't know when I'll get it. The software engineering part of my university studies reading MCU data sheets. That's cool. Wait, you're in university studying software engineering? Or specifically what? What are you reading MCU data sheets for? Is it MCUs for small electronic devices like mice? That's rather interesting. How are we doing on time? It's 1 p.m. my time. I got other things I need to do today. I would like to keep modding. I have more mod stuff I want to do. But I should probably eat lunch. Let's put these back in the box. X8 Altar first. So the X8 Altar, we get the dongle, we get all these stickers. Stickers, stickers, stickers. What do you guys think? Are stickers a good inclusion with a mouse? Because you are technically paying for them. You know, you're probably paying, 50 cents for them. I don't know. I don't mind good stickers. These ones are kind of cringe. But sure. Bro, where you at? I think you're talking to Pigger, but if anyone's curious, yeah, I'm from the US. USA. Sorry that our country is so, like, in your face with new stuff all the time. It's a very USA-centric world, which is, I don't know. We don't get political on the live stream. We don't get political on the podcast. Oh, that's funny. Look at the the shark poking through. Sure, we'll leave it. Oh, extra skates. The ultimate came with extra skates. Where are those? There we are. Yeah, these are the extra skates from the ultimate. I think I already showed these off earlier. So we'll put that away. Put that back in the box. Let me grab a microfiber and wipe down. I'll just use this paper towel, actually. Sure. Bye-bye, doggy. Doggy left. Oh, nope, she hears me say doggy. Oh, she's coming back. Here comes doggy. You guys can't see her, but she's just standing next to me. Nope, no longer interested. I'm not doing anything, so see you later, dog. Yeah, I do like to disinfect my mice before I list them for sale. Oh, that's just such an easy thing to do, and I didn't really use these mice, so I guess they're, like, I'm going overkill right now, but yeah, mice are just, it's something that you touch and hold, It's like, hands are gross. Hands are how we, like, spread germs and stuff. Oh, this microfiber is not doing a good job of taking off the, Wow, this coating is really something, dude. This coating, like, really, really shows everything. You don't have a water sprayer to keep your dog interested. Oh, I know, dude. Should I just do a dog live stream at one point? I'll just set up my phone outside, and I'll just play the hose game with her, and I'll just play Frisbee with her. I actually do have an unlisted YouTube video of me playing Frisbee with my dog. I have, I think, a couple. At this point, I probably could relist them, and I don't think it would harm my channel in any way. I don't know. I really don't know how I don't know, like, am I supposed to game the YouTube algorithm to maximize views? Sort of. But do I actually? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not, like, serious enough into, like, I understand that the appeal of a long format podcast about gaming mice is, like, such small appeal. When Daz and I started out, so there's a term in business called addressable market, which is kind of like, what's the maximum reach that your product or service can have? So something like if you want to sell something in a supermarket, you're going to have a massive addressable market because everyone's got to eat. Like, your addressable market will just then be limited by, like, your region. But if you want to make a podcast about gaming mice, your addressable market, is it Stubby who does oh, son of a gun, I forgot. I packaged it up so nicely and then I forgot the grip tape. Is it Stubby who does, or used to do, like, a weekly news thing? But it was not a live stream. I don't even know if it was weekly. but it was short format. It was edited. And that had like 2,000 views. So that I see is the max for Mousecast, because Stubby is a more established YouTube channel, and that was short form. You're going to get more views. So I'm happy that like the most recent Mousecast episode did like 500 views or something. Is that what it's sitting at? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if carbon fiber is bendable. I mean, it's a stiffer material. The carbon fiber composites of like the ULX and the IPI float, if that's to be believed, those you can still mod. You just have to be really careful with them. Just go really slow. But those are like injection molded, so they still are like a polymer blend of carbon fiber and other things. But like straight up carbon fiber, like I don't know what mouse you're doing. If you're talking like a Zaukonig M1K or something that's like truly carbon fiber, M3K, whatever, I don't know, Zaukonig mice. But it's like truly carbon fiber. Yeah, you could try it. Just go really, really, really slow. I would be extra careful with that. Those are expensive mice. And if you like break it, it's also not even easy as just buying another one sometimes, right? Because they have like limited drops, limited stock. Yeah. But I mean, in theory, you can kind of bend any material. It's just carbon fiber is rather stiff, so you might not really be able to elastically deform it so that it's kinked to give you a better click feel. I don't know. Speaking of carbon fiber, isn't the Unius Black Lotus marketed as carbon fiber? I had somebody in Discord today ask me if me or Daz had any interest in it, and I was like, no. And I feel like that's not an unpopular take. Wasn't somebody telling us that like the Unius Black Lotus like wasn't selling at all, so they started doing giveaways to try to drum up more interest in it again? Something like that. I don't know, dude. It's like a $130 mouse. And yeah, it's like pretty because it has this like butterfly pattern on it, but it's like got all these holes, and reviews of it were like, yes, it's a mouse, I guess, but it doesn't really do anything particularly well. I don't know. Maybe carbon fiber will go the way of the dodo, just like how magnesium mice did. Right? Although VGN's releasing that new magnesium mouse. I really hope we get more info on that. Do you guys in chat have any info on the magnesium new VGN mouse? The one that uses the solid shell? They call it like new flagship. We showed it on Mousecast. It was posted to Twitter and Mouse Review this week. It's like all silver. It looks kind of weird. It looks kind of like an unsafe shape, but I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of interested in unsafe shapes because everything's a safe shape. 2 grams heavier. Ying. No new info yet. I think the design is not even finalized yet. That's impressive that they're even teasing it with the design not being finalized. I pressed less hard and made it crooked. He's doing WL mouse Ying. Yeah, the Ying, that's like a carbon composite polymer, right? So you probably can. Just be really careful, because if you break your Ying, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to condone it in case it doesn't work out for you. But I will say for other carbon composite mice, like ponage stuff, you know, you can. It's just got to be really slow. Yeah, I'll keep these off. I don't need to put those back on. Throw this out, clean up my workspace a little bit, put my screwdriver away. I honestly would like to keep streaming, but I'm hungry. So I think I gotta call it there. Thank you guys so much for checking out chat and for coming and saying hi. Thank you so much for the super active people in chat. Neon Thunder, Piger. I think I can go to top fans, can't I? Top fans? Top fans. Oh yeah, Piger is number 1 at 150 EXP. Neon Thunder is tied at 150 EXP. Porch Monkey. Wait a second, Porch Monkey, did I not see you? Custom Parts, I saw you say a few things. Was there anything else that I missed in chat before I say goodbye? Oh, Cow asked, Man Phalanges, do you remember when I asked about the optical TX and RX pad? Does a click register when short mean optical part work? No, I don't know because it depends how the PCB is wired. Like it could, right? Like it could if the if the mechanical part is not connected. Like talking PCB design, if the mechanical, if like the normally open pin or maybe the first pin, I don't know. Probably the normally open pin is what we're referring to. If that's what you're referring to, jumpering to the TX or RX pin on the transmitter or receiver. If that normally open pin isn't connected to anything on the PCB and then you jumper and it works, then yeah, that means the optical part is active. But if that pin, from my understanding, these pins, they're often all the pins are active, and it just comes down to the firmware. Is it reading like the optical measurement, or is it reading the normally open pin? I think it really comes down to firmware. I don't think jumpering. I think short answer version is it could, but don't take it as gospel because I think it really comes down to the firmware. Oh, I asked Piger about the software engineering, and he said, graduated last April and got my first job a month ago. That's cool. Simpler MCU, breadboarding. You have a water sprayer for your dog. Neon Thunder flanges answered the carbon fiber bending on the A7 Re, so it's probably connected to the mechanical part. Yeah, that's the thing, because these different trim levels, again, I really don't know. They also might just use like a firmware that supports both, that somehow reads both. They just like didn't comment out the code that is reading both. I don't know. By the way, I checked out the nucleus and then check out the nucleus in the next Mousecast. Yeah, Neon Thunder, we did briefly mention Mousecast this week on 46, the nucleus mouse. I didn't have a whole lot to say. I compared it to the SteelSeries Rival like 700 or something that had a swappable sensor. It's kind of a similar design, but the nucleus seems like a pretty cool project. I don't have any additional inside info or anything. I haven't talked to the guy. I honestly don't plan on it. I don't plan on reaching out for a review sample, yada yada. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of these like projects come out and oftentimes they don't go anywhere. I'm not trying to poo-poo it. I think his approach is kind of cool, using the same like underlying PCB module than just changing the top shell. You're not going to get the absolute lowest weight. Like that's a little bit inefficient in terms of compared to like a top bottom mouse shell design. Maybe he can use that internal sensor PCB brick thing as also like a side reinforcement. So maybe they could be pretty strong mice, which is cool. Yeah, I guess I don't have a whole lot to say on it. It's cool, I guess. Also in chat, I'm talking to the guys there, trying to help them out if I can. Would like to see it come to life. Yeah, again, I don't really know too much about it. Yeah, feel free, Neon, to like send in my Discord if you think that I would give any additional assistance. I would be happy to help them out with thoughts on modability, click, feel, reviewer sentimentality, pricing, etc. But I don't think I'm going to have anything super special to add that you wouldn't add, because you're pretty in the know already. Piger says, if you or Daz ever get the A7 V2, could you compare it to the coding on the K7 and L7 Plus? Yes. Apparently it's a new gen of coding that's somehow even better. Yes, we will. Daz ordered the A7 V2, and we talked about it briefly on Mousecast. And yeah, so the V2's differences are, it was coding, and it was the MCU, right? Update to Nordic 54 series, right? I think I'm getting that right. Yeah, and they go from like an ice sensing to something. I don't want to say something wrong, but yes, that was on the little comparison chart. I was surprised too that it said a new coding. Same thing goes with the ATK A9. Also said the A9 Ultimate also said it has a different coding. I know ROM's most recent coding on the Leviathan V4 says it's thermosensitive. I don't know exactly what that means, but I haven't seen that verbiage used elsewhere. Neon says, I'm just trying to get a 50-gram basilisk. Yeah, did you see, Neon, the MCHO's G7 is now available with a 3395. They have up higher tier levels. Remember the MCHO's G7, the like G502-ish shape that was only 3311? Now they have higher tier options. I do not use mine whatsoever. It's a comfortable mouse. I just don't aim well with it at all. Man, you guys are keeping me active in chat. I was about to say goodbye, but I gotta finish these messages. Battery swap the M-Chose G7. Yes, I did. You guys want to see the weight? Shoot, I should have read that message before I put it away. I did battery swap my M-Chose G7. Bro, batteries are so cheap. There's that seller selling them for like $1.50 a piece. 51, 52 grams on an M-Chose G7. Yeah, like it feels fine. I even kind of glossified it too. But yeah, my click feel on mine is actually really nice. I think I fulcrum bent this because this feels quite nice for a mechanical switch. Even middle mouse is like pretty spammable. I wish the scroll wheel was farther forward, but whatever. I don't know. It's a mouse that like really promotes a relaxed grip because it's like rather tall. Look at how flat the top of it is. Just like, it's like mid hump that extends forward and back. It's very flat on the top. I would, but I try not to buy $33.95 mice. Oh, that's right. That's you. Yeah, Neon. Well, I think, check it though. Does the G7 come with a $39.50 option? I don't know. I do know that Dad says he has a $33.95 version inbound from M-Chose. Their stupid reviewer program has you buy their mice just with a coupon code for like 30% off or something like that. Don't quote me on that number. But they actually straight up sent him a mouse for free this time, which is really the play to do, I think. Using it on glass, if I start to buy all sensors, I'll run out of space. I get that, dude. I'm the same way with my mouse colors. I try not to buy anything that's not a unique color. This was a unique one, the IN10R. But yeah, I try not to buy anything unless it's a unique color. Yeah. I bought like 20 within the last 8 weeks. Oh no, 20 mice. Oh no. I only recently got the L7 Plus after like a month of research. G7 Max, I know. I want. Infic IN10R. Yeah, I can give you some brief thoughts on it. G7 Max the highest with $33.95. Okay. Really want to know what shape. How much colors? Buy so much Rapupu mice. Yeah, the Rapupu mice colors are quite nice. I can give quick thoughts on the IN10R. So it's a ergo, right? That's like a tall mid hump. It's not an absolutely massive mouse. What do you want me to compare it to? Do you want me to grab the M-Chose G7 again? I can compare it to that. But there's not a ton of mice with this kind of an ergo shape. It's unique in that it's like rather narrow. So where you grip. Yeah, well, you can talk shape. So where you grip, it really promotes a relaxed grip. My hands are too big for it. Like, it really wants me to palm it because it is an absolutely massive mid hump. And yeah, it really wants me to palm, especially with this like really nice thumb groove here. But because my hands are too big, I either have to back up on it and relax my fingertips, so I have to grip more like this, or I have to really, really grip aggressively. Which I think I would end up gripping more like this. The grip width is like really narrow here. I mean, this kind of accentuates it, but like if this was an ambi mouse, it would be like pretty narrow here. The hip flare is very like straight. It's not like a sudden hip. It feels like pretty straight here. Side curvature, there is a little bit of curvature going inward. This feels pretty vertical here on the side. The thumb area feels really yeah, it just comes in. It just really likes a taper, kind of like a prime. Like, yeah, that's actually not a bad comparison. Let me grab my Zaupin ZPW. Like how the ZPW just wants to get really narrow up here. This Infic does kind of the same thing. The coating on this it actually has a coating, which is surprising. Like, you can see the color difference between the gray and the black. It feels chalky. The texturing on the side here actually does not at all. Let me zoom in on that for you. This doesn't at all bother me. It looks kind of like dumb. It's actually on the thumb, I don't notice it. On the ring finger, it is very much where I put my ring finger. And do I kind of like it? I actually kind of like it. I feel like once your hands get a little moist, it actually grips better, which is wild. But it's so minimal and it's faded and it's smooth, where that really is not offensive at all. The click feel, I'm actually rather disappointed with. This is definitely using Omron 100Ms, and they just feel dull and uninspiring. Like, they're spammable, but there's just like so much spring going on for not a whole lot of tactile click. This is also available in a white, and I think I would have been curious how the white's coating would have been. I know the Infic Ion X does not have a coating, which is kind of a bummer. It's just plain plastic. The Ion X, I really need to put more time on. This is a really, really nice shape. The side buttons on the Ion 10R are actually really nice. They're big. They have some teeter-totter. Actually, quite a bit of teeter-totter. That's actually pretty bad. The back one feels quite a bit better. But they protrude a decent amount. And they are big and glossy. I like them. Scroll wheel is disappointing on this. It's like not tactile. It's like 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10 tactility. And middle mouse is rather stiff. So that combined with a scroll wheel that doesn't really tactile, notch very well. When you go to spam it, you end up accidentally scrolling it. The weird printing. You don't feel any of the printing at all. The black and gray actually looks kind of nice in person because, here's it compared to a black mouse. It's not black. It's like a really, really dark gray. And the black accents on it is actually a pretty good looking mouse for all the stupid gamery aesthetics. You can tell I haven't used it yet. I do need to disassemble. This is why it's on my desk. It's because it's on my list of things to disassemble. But here we can grab a quick weight. I think it's advertised at 62 grams. Yeah, 63 grams. That's about what it feels like too. Again, it's not a brick, but it's also not insanely light. Otherwise, it just feels fine. Infic uses this weird skate layout. I guess this is better than having a split skate, but I don't know, man. Why don't we have more dongle storage that goes in, like, vertically, like this Attack Shark? Like, look at this. Look at this. They managed to fit a charging dock, the dongle storage, and a full-size skate in the back because they did the vertical dongle storage. Why don't we see more of that? I would like to see more of that. I have so many things on my list to mod, but I'm leaving for a work trip tomorrow, like 5 a.m. And I'm going to be gone for like a week plus. Not a bad mouse at all. Good with some mods. It'll be a nice mouse. Yeah, and I believe this has a big fat, I want to say, is it a 600 milliamp hour battery? I remember being like, oh yeah, that's going to be moddable. Oh yeah, Infic build quality though, dude. It's like solid. Bro, there's like no flex to this. Side to side play on the buttons a little bit. The click feel is really the most disappointing thing. I need to use the weight, the shape more because it feels comfortable. But again, it's kind of, for me to like palm it, it's a palm grip shape, but it's too small for my hands. Like, look at that. It's like the same length. This is just yeah, that's just a royal clutch. Here's the M-Chose. It's like, M-Chose is like way bigger. Oh yeah, M-Chose is like way more palmable. It's because it's longer. Yeah, even though this one is more like ball-like, it has more aggressive sloping top and bottom. That's crazy that like so many viewers come in and out. I feel like it would just be the same 5 people viewing, but yeah, we're at 11 now. I think I want to end the stream though, guys. I want to go eat lunch. Let me eat lunch. You guys are asking too many engaging good questions. Neon and Piger, you guys are goats, dude. Thank you guys so much for being so active. What's your threshold for weight now? Sub 50 grams? Really, really good question. Yes. Yes, my threshold is about 50 grams. It really depends on the mouse's size. So something small like the Infic Ion X, I want this to be, does it need to be sub 40? Absolutely not. Let me zoom out here. Something like this. So this is a small medium size. So this is kind of between, this is going to be between like a final mouse small and medium in terms of size right here. This 40 grams is very good. I think I have my weight modded down to, you guys can see my battery. So I want to say I have this weight modded down to probably, I don't know. Let me take the dongle out of here. Oh man, I hope I can get the dongle out. Hang on, I gotta get my tweezers to get the dongle out because I'm so smart. I have a magnet on the backside of that little bridge piece connecting there. Yeah. I probably should just cut this bridge piece out and put the magnet in the shell. But anyway, with a little bit of grip tape on it. 40 grams even. And this feels totally fine. I almost always would opt for larger skates, even though they are heavier than dots. For me, yeah, 50 grams is the kind of benchmark for me to hit. And a kind of ideal weight is like 45. I find when you start going below 40, you start getting into build quality issues, and something like a larger mouse, like I think the Maya X really does it well, where the Maya X is a, what is this, a 45, 46 gram mouse that's kind of a large medium size. This, I don't need it to be any lighter. I don't want it to be any heavier. Yeah. My X is still like a really solid S tier mouse. I don't know why people have stopped talking about it, but it's so good. Don't let us hold you. We'll just continue on Discord if we need to. Pulsar X2V1 and A7 Re weight the same, but X2 feel heavier and handier because it's more dense. Yeah. A7 Re has more battery swap weight savings potential too. Below 55 is, I think, solid too. Yeah, I would say though, like, for me to like, okay, if this Infic was, so this is 63 grams, and this can be modded down to probably about 55 after a battery swap, right? So 55 for me, I still bought this. I spent good money on this. I want to say I spent like $40 on this. If this, though, after weight mods would have only come down to 65, I would have not have bought it. So from that perspective, like 60 to 65 is my threshold for like, I straight up have zero interest in any products that are that heavy. But for what will I actually use and main, I would say it needs to be either an amazing shape at like 55 grams or a good enough shape at like 45 grams. So yeah, 50 grams. Like, I think, what's the Strider way? You know, if, you know, gun to my head, I had to pick one main right now, what would it be? It would be WL Mouse Strider. So here I have grip tape applied everywhere. Which probably adds a couple grams. 52 grams, there you go. There you go. Wow, that's heavier than I thought. I have not battery swapped this, because their battery is not like a huge weight savings, but yeah, 52 grams. That's heavier than I thought. But the thing is, I'm just able to grip it in such an aggressive manner. It just perfectly contours the hip. Just perfectly goes where my pinky wants to go. The angle of the side here and where my ring finger rests just feels perfect. The slight bit of palm contact from the hip down here is excellent too. Arm-on opticals are good. The side buttons could be better. I wish they were located farther forward. The hump, I get a tiny bit of hump contact right here. I don't really touch any of this side, but I do get it right here. The clicks, I wish they had grooves. Big foot stickers. That's a solid mouse. I absolutely love the shape. I like it more than the XM2. Yeah. But yeah, that's heavier than I thought. Now that I know, I'm probably gonna be like, oh, I wish this was lighter. Now that I know, the illusion has been ruined. Where's my dongle for it? Is the dongle in it? Wait, sometimes I wedge the dongle inside of the Strider. No? Okay. That knocking is gonna make my dog bark. Oh no, okay, here's the dongle. Yep. Okay guys, I think I gotta end the stream. I need to go eat lunch. So thank you guys all for watching. Mousecast is gonna be Friday this week, not Thursday night. It's gonna be Friday, 10:45 p.m. Eastern. It should just be a standard show, me and Daz. I do like to tease stuff on these live streams for the enthusiast viewers out there. Upgrade Lemonade is coming on Mousecast Saturday, October 11th at 6 a.m. EST, which is -4 UTC. So for our European viewers, that's going to be around noon time for y'all. So I think that'll be a good time. He's a Central European, I believe, is where he's at right now. Like, where is he? Like Moldova or Greece or something like that? Yeah, it's interesting. He's American though, but like maybe I'm revealing too much personal info, but yeah, he like married a girl or something, or his wife's family or something is from Moldova or something. God, I'm a dumb American. I don't even know where Moldova is. Is that Baltic? Or not Baltic. Is that like Mediterranean? Is that like by like Bulgaria and Lebanon or something? I don't know. Ponage homie. Yeah, he is the Ponage homie. He's the Ponage rep who recently got into like some beef on Twitter with Escaldi over the flexible back end of the, what freaking mouse was that? The new Corsair Saber V2 Pro that we talked about on Mousecast. Bro's whole life was computer mouses, says electricity. Yes. Yes, and I will own that Onage mouse. Okay, I need to go. Okay, for real. Bye, guys. I need to go. Bye.